Well, when it was in Germany, some German was going to put that piece on, but then he took a lunch break.
Yeah. And the real question is, can I just pop it in through the side? Maybe. Usually I have to take the whole face off, but I might be able to.
She'll be glad to hear that piece was something.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, she was.
There's a 99% chance that's all it is.
Yeah, she was concerned about it. Like,
Well,
such a tiny piece that I don't know what the hell it was for.
oh yeah. Well, hey,
Outside of the movement.
And I said, well, it's brass. You know, looks like it has a brass finish to it. So I said, and it was by the client, so.
Yeah, it's called a C-clip. They're what hold everything in place on the actual covers. Trying to think the easiest way to do this.
Just put a little bagging for a button, and when he comes, we'll.
Yeah, I mean, good
See
catch.
if he recognizes it.
Yeah, that's a good catch. I mean, worst case, even if you didn't have this, I carry 1,000 of these with me, so give them one thing is they use the exact same parts for everything.
So this kind of thing happens when that pops off?
Yeah.
I've seen this before.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not a common thing. It does happen though.
Yeah, it never happened to the other one.
Yeah. So all that means is it's just a C-clip. So there's a rod and there's a smaller rod in front, and this clips down on that to hold everything back. And it was, instead of being down like this, it's probably just a little bit like this, and then it just kind of plumps off eventually. You know what? I was gonna play it safer. I'm just gonna get a completely different one on there. Just in case this one's a little bit weaker, I'll put a stronger one on there. Yeah, sorry about that.
Could that have come loose when you're trying to get the time to catch up with the time?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
The only way that
Because if it cuts out, you didn't wind it, and then all of a sudden we're behind a couple hours.
No, it shouldn't be that. Just because that's not directly connected to this piece specifically.
Okay.
The only thing I can possibly think of that could have been something that you did is if you were moving the hands while it's going off, like while it was chiming.
See?
Just because, you know, at that point.
That's on you. I don't know what you're.
Yeah, that would be the only thing I can think of because that's during.
You say that's taking too long, but no. That's on you.
That's not on me.
Yes, it was.
Even if it was,
You were the only one that.
it's not a great chance. Even if
He
it
was
was.
here and he wanted to set it, and he was moving the hands every 15 minutes. And he was going to have to do it probably for about 5 hours.
Yeah, you could go backwards too.
I told him, I said, just go backwards and leave it alone, and it'll catch up by itself.
Yes.
And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to.
Do a chime demonstration.
That's all you wanted to do.
Yeah, for the views.
And I told you.
All for the views.
I told you, if you make it do more mechanical work, it's going to wear out fast.
Yeah.
So you have to do it electronically, you don't have that problem.
Well, it's a Seiko quartz battery.
Oh.
We definitely need a light in here.
That one's funny too. It's a Seiko, it's a good clock.
That sounds nice.
It's a Seiko quartz.
Once in a
Yeah.
while, it doesn't chime right. And it's just, you know, like about once a month. It'll just give you some goofy number. It's like, what the hell is that?
It'll be 10 minutes after, yeah.
I think only the battery's going.
Yep.
The battery's
Other
going.
side.
And then it doesn't do it again for another couple of months.
How old is it?
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that battery one you're talking about.
Oh, the battery. I usually change it every year at the.
No, I guess like the actual clock. How old is it?
Yeah.
Like
I'll
the
do a
whole thing
demonstration
is, like,
with you
Yeah.
More than 10 years old.
later.
Well, the whole mechanism's more than 10.
Yeah, I mean those things have a lifespan too.
I
So.
forgot when I bought that for my wife for an anniversary present or something.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I think I bought that. Do you remember a store called Best Buys? Not Best Buys. That's
Circuit City.
this one was just called Best.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a catalog store, and you can go in and either buy directly there or order through their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bought that pair out. I just went out in Woodward, where we used to live.
Oh,
The hammers aren't aligned, so it's not gonna
it
sound.
didn't even do.
Well,
It didn't do the last one.
No, it did all eight. Just the first one didn't hit anything because it's pushed back.
Oh yeah, I know. Did you hear it?
Go to Richfield or come from Richfield?
I just came from there. Yeah, nice little trip.
Yeah.
I go from here to Elyria, believe it or not.
My roommate went to Elyria High School. Well, my freshman year. You get the 7-note West Whittington chimes. Or St. Michael's, because they're both the same.
Used to go to Richfield a lot when the Cavs played down there.
Mm-hmm.
They had a hockey team. Crusaders.
It's not a bad drive. It's just a little bit of a distance.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
And here's the
smooth.
face the movement. We got it. Here.
Well, the best way is take
You gotta
take 82 to Route 8 and then Route 8 to 71. So just get off on 303 there. Is that moon plate a separate plate or is that mounted to
The moon dial. It's mounted
This is
to
the-
that.
the? Just mounted.
Damn, just wanted to hear the
No, I just,
7-note Whittington.
I just don't want it to catch on the hammers and break.
That's no fun.
Oh, I just don't want it to break.
At least you gave me that.
So how's the grandfather clock business?
Never ending.
Yeah.
Certainly not a bad thing, but I'm doing 5 or 6 a day every day now. So it never ends.
How's the sales part?
Still good too. We deliver new ones, a couple new ones a month still, even with everything going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, repairs has always been what we've been the most busy with overall. But
Yeah, I was wondering, it's almost one of those, I mean, it's been around a long time,
oh yeah,
and it's wondering if, like you guys' generations versus mine versus, my wife's father bought this, so this goes back to his great-grandpa.
yeah. I mean, it just depends. A lot of them are.
And that's
Get the
fairly new.
movement here. We're gonna get.
It's not like it's been around forever, where,
Actually, gonna do.
I've seen grandfather clocks in older houses.
Oh yeah, I work on stuff from the 1700s every few weeks.
What was the motivation to
There's
buy?
the face.
But
Actually,
I can understand her dad buying this because he grew up with one. But I never had one, so
Yeah, it goes in waves is the way I like to describe it.
I kind of fell in love with this one when he had it.
About half of
He's
what.
fallen in love with this one.
Yeah, now it's my. Now it's literally.
You can't wait till I go, huh?
Yeah.
But
Probably.
I used to sell real estate, and I didn't see a lot of them in houses, you know,
Mm.
the newer modern houses.
I mean, they're everywhere. I do 12 or 1,400 appointments
Well,
a
that's
year.
the 12 o'clock strike. Might as well. The 7-note Whittington. No, what about the 7-note Westminster?
It will never do 7. It only ever does 4.
No. I mean, like the position. It's like the ergos movements.
They only ever pull back 4 hammers. The other ones are pulling back 8. It's just missing 1.
No, I'm talking about the ergos triple chime.
Should fix that. Alright. So that lift lever that piece is attached to is a little bit bent too, so it might have been moved while I was chiming, but that's not a problem. There's just a quick bend back and it's fine. A little bit, very, very mildly. The problem with these is mildly goes a long way.
Somebody playing around with it too much.
Wasn't me.
Was it you? Who else was it? Wasn't your grandma? Wasn't me. Who else
Jesus.
touches the clock? Wasn't Uncle Scott. Wasn't Gizzy.
Any more trees fall?
No.
Well, now that you have the hammers pulled back, you can see
But that was all
which
precaution.
one is.
I mean, that tree hit the biggest impact was right over this beam here.
Right.
And with that being there, I mean, literally the pendulum fell off of the thing. I mean, the force knocked it off.
Yeah, I remember you guys were telling me that this thing got knocked around.
I've always wondered what it would. I've always wondered what this would sound like if
Covered
it.
by insurance. Let you guys come out and take a look at it, because I don't know what the, you know.
I say I wrote it on there that the impact
I
caused
wasn't gonna
damage.
mess with it. I was thinking if I could put it.
I've always wondered what this would sound like if it was like an ergos. So if.
It doesn't matter what brand, the chime.
No. I'm no because it's well the ergos Westminster. I would want to hear that. I would want to hear that on this because it's adjusted to be that way.
Literally blew open the microwave door
Did it really?
over the stove, and it was a plate in there, and it came flying out of there like a frisbee. And I was sitting in the family room seeing that thing coming at me. What the hell?
Right. Not the way you threw
I
it.
didn't realize what had happened. It was just this humongous explosion sound.
Oh, I can only
Humongous.
imagine.
And this thing flying at me, and thinking, I started thinking maybe something blew up in the microwave. You know?
All right.
But it actually busted a rafter up in the ceiling.
Could you turn on the Westminster?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah, I was watching that at Deja Vu. I was watching that news last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever when that storm came through Holmes County, down in Amish country there. All those trees came down. On those
Yeah.
homes. I mean, some of those homes were just destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
You could fix it.
I think people forget just how powerful wood flowing can
Yeah.
be. That storm we had a few weeks ago when it like super high winds and lightning and all that, one of the trees in my backyard exploded, got hit, which kind of worked for me because there's a creek behind my house that splits between a city and my city, and the tree was on the other side's property, but it's leaning over my shed and is completely dead, and the lightning exploded so hard that it went flying the other direction. It's just incredible.
Today is all about the strike, apparently.
And it's funny too, because around here, I've got to where the wood comes from. I mean, I kind of go, left to right to left, come down. This is the first one I really did this kind of damage to the house. I've had it hit the garage 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, put a hole in the garage roof. and then they come on and fix it. I mean, there's no. I mean, only one time the branch actually came through the drywall, and I think it was about 6 inches above the hood of my car. But there was no damage to the car, so they repaired the work, put some new drywall in, and I was back in business. You know?
Right.
This thing was like catastrophic.
Yeah, you said it was one of your big ones too,
There
right?
was like 6 holes in the ceiling, and the water was pouring in.
That's incredible. Yeah, I have 3 huge oaks in my yard, so every time it gets a little bit windy, I'm like, ooh.
Is there some kind of mechanical sensor on it that knows the position of the hands? That turns around and syncs the.
Yes.
As long as the hands are oriented, yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Now, if the hands are taken off and reoriented without checking where that alignment is, it will
Okay.
it won't ever
You have to
work.
put it back together, right?
Yeah, the short of it is, it literally, every quarter bumps a lever a
Yeah.
little bit, and at the hour bumps it twice as high. So it needs to be pointing upwards at that high lift, or else it's never going to sync right. So,
So if you take it off at 5 o'clock, you better put it back at 5 o'clock.
yeah, well, not even that. If you take it
the
off,
levers are in that position.
yeah, so the easiest way to do it is if you ever do take the hands off for some reason, just keep cycling it, and just put it on any direction, doesn't matter what, and then cycle it until it goes off the
Yeah.
hour, and then point it
I do
upwards.
what I do. I mean, when it's daylight savings time.
Yeah, as long as you don't physically take the minute hand off and then turn and put it back on, it'll reorient.
Right? You know, when we had daylight savings time again, April or whenever the hell it was, you know, the congressional guys, national and Ohio, all of a sudden they're gonna vote and throw it out.
I would love if they did that.
But that lasted about 2 weeks and then they forget about it.
Yeah, that would make my life,
Yeah.
ironically, very easy.
I mean, they've been doing that since I was a kid, so it's like, it ain't gonna happen.
No, it's almost an ingrained thing at this point. So I got that put back in position, put a new clip on it, so that should be more than enough for this
Okay.
thing's entire lifespan.
You should be able to remove that clip.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
I looked at my.
If you had something to do with it, you know?
Yeah, I just threw yours in my toolbox and replaced it. I mean, no reason to mess
Yeah.
with it.
It'd be good to test all the chimes at the very end here.
You know, the old mechanism, I remember when he first got it, you could wind it to the top of it. You could not overwind the clock, he said.
Right.
But after some years or whatever, when we got it, you could overwind it.
It depends on the model.
Yeah.
This is
But
274.
when we got to the top, they wouldn't come down. They would just stay there. So then I had to start pulling them down by hand.
That was on the old one, right?
Yeah, to get to some level where it finally decided to take over by itself, you know?
Yeah, that was more
So
of
that's
a.
what I used to tell her. I said, we'll just won't wind it all the way to the top anymore. It ain't that hard, you know?
Yeah, so what that probably was is because that mechanical block that makes it so you can't overwind it was still
Yeah.
there, but that cable spools from one end to the other. So when it was all the way up like that, it might have been pulling more weight on the front, which would cause it to jam up. So
Because I told her, I said, this one has, you know, you can wind it all the way now.
right.
And I says, and it works, so. But she was still trying to wind this one the way she wound the old one, so. I thought, I wondered, did that have anything to do with what the hell went on here?
No, the short answer is more than likely it's nothing you guys
Yeah.
did. It just, like anything mechanical, sometimes they get cranky, is the way I'll describe it. So I wouldn't change anything about what you're doing. You know, like I said, the biggest thing is just don't move the hands while it's chiming. And even if you throw them out of alignment, just give them some time, they'll come back around on their own.
The hardest part is just remembering to wind it.
Yeah. Hey, a week goes by quick and you're not thinking about it.
You know, so. I noticed on this one, there's a difference in from the old one in the speed of the weights going down.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
They
I'm
should.
thinking it could be the gear ratios or the length of the chain or something.
Some of the old ones can get almost 8 days before they fully run out, but
Yeah.
these are expected to go about 7.5. So that might just be that regard.
And then they don't go as far down to the bottom to when it needs to be wound.
It should stop just above.
Yeah, the one is all the way around. These stop maybe half inch above where you can see them through the door.
Yeah, so part of that too is these ones also have locks to stop it going down too far. So, because if the cable runs all the way out, it can pop the cable out of its chute. It's like everything else, safety is everywhere.
I mean, it's just all, you just have to adapt to it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with the clock.
Yeah, just
It doesn't work this way, these ones,
yeah, it's just the small changes over the years.
All right, Whittington on the hour.
I'm driving this car and I'm like, where the hell is this switch? Finally, it's the point where I can't see it. It's just too dark and I can't get the brakes on.
Right.
So I pull the car over. And I get the manual on. And the manual says, take the
All
turn
right,
signal.
look at that.
Take the turn signal lever and you pull it back and forth.
Huh.
And I'm thinking, where the hell thought of this? Why did they take it off the floor?
Right.
Why didn't somebody tell me to do that?
It's funny too, because that's what it is. It's,
Yeah,
you can,
Finally, we get the Whittington
Highlight.
highlight here.
They decided to change that. You guys think, what the hell is this?
right. Hey, there's a reason the three main brands we order, their mechanisms are almost identical, and
Okay.
all the other brands that did their own thing, they don't exist anymore. Especially when you talk about stuff like this, like
Yeah.
when you start messing with a good formula that's worked for a couple thousand years,
Yeah.
it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
And a lot of that wasn't even because they were bad parts; it's just that they
I
stopped
saw
working.
on TV. You guys are on TV with. I think that Moss Man in the morning when he goes to different places and.
Yeah, we've been on a couple times.
And anyway, he was talking about. I guess at that time, you guys had repaired the clock down in Amish country, the big one.
Yeah, they had a couple times, I think.
Because they said the guy that, I guess it was one guy, I don't know who was guy that built it, or whatever, he was some old German guy or whatever, and he died.
Mm.
And the clock stopped and he didn't do it. So they had a plan for correction and then they moved it to Sugar Creek, wherever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't speak personally because I have no idea what they did or didn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, for all I know, they just jury rig it back into working correctly.
This is an hour strike Whittington.
Yeah, we worked on a bunch of different type of clocks. The guys that did work out retired this year though, so can't really just.
I did a job for a company on Dayton, from Basel, here in Germany. And they built these presses that would actually print paper. And they would be at the end, like a guy would have a printing company and he would print up brochures. And you have a trifold or an eightfold or whatever. These machines would fold the paper into the format that the guy wanted his flyer to be.
This seems a little bit high, the Whittington setting. Is it?
So they had all these, it was like 12
Like the-
different settings they had to make on this machine to get the paper to fold right.
Right.
Oh, can you say the
Depending
St.
upon
Michael's?
The number of folds and all that. And
Thank you.
this company was running into the situation that their customers, the guys who knew how to set these machines.
All right, so this is the innards.
And
I'm gonna test this.
nobody was doing any mentoring or training or anything.
Yeah.
So we had to automate that like a robot.
Yeah.
So it would, you just touch the screen and say, I want one of those. And
Yeah, we've
had
had
a
a.
servo drive to move around and we reset it. And they said,
I'm gonna see the
because
angle
most
in
of
which
the
I'm
guys
gonna
they were hiring
record.
were Hispanics, you know, that they were paying $1.25 an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Do what this guy used to do that was a specialist.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, that's the whole way. Because I worked for Warner and Swayze, which was a machine tool company down on 50th Carrion. At that time, there was 30,000 employees.
Mm-hmm.
We're one of the top machine tool companies. We built lathes,
Mm.
and they were all robotic and stuff like that. But there was part of it when they put the cutting tool on what they call the travel arm. It was just this polished steel in the frame, and it was really tight tolerance. And these guys used to put on white gloves, these old guys, and they would feel it because it had to be so smooth.
Right.
And then they'd find the spot and they'd mark it or whatever. And they used to do that. I used to sit there watching these old guys, you know, thinking, what's the hell are they gonna do when that guy retires?
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, who's gonna do this? And they tried to replace it with lasers, and they had a hell of a time trying to match what that guy did.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, you can't compensate for
No.
experience. Yeah.
Well, they were talking the other day on the news, at 60 Minutes maybe, whatever. But they were looking at the Tesla, and then all these other cars that are going to be hands-free.
Right.
And
Some
they're
clocks
talking
have
about-
a Winchester chime too.
Ergus does.
Ergos, yeah. Yeah.
They were talking about the artificial
Some of those,
intelligence to drive a car,
Yeah.
and how they cannot
Older Ergos.
duplicate what we do.
No.
They said you still can't trust.
You've been hearing it for like 10 years. I'm like, nah.
I mean, they showed a couple of guys, these guys driving, and they're doing Teslas, and one guy's reading and playing on his phone.
Right.
And they said the Tesla is designed to be on an interstate in a lane where his cars go in the same direction.
Right. It's
If
consistent
you come to a
speed.
crossroad and there's somebody there, and 2 people were killed because semis decided to make a U-turn.
Right.
Now they're going across the road.
Yeah. They don't
The
really.
artificial intelligence don't what the hell doing.
Nah, yeah.
So that drives
We're-
right into it,
we're
and the
way
guy gets
too-
killed.
Yeah, we're way too erratic.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. Yeah, because that's what we're running into. Because we can't. There's only a couple things we can't do.
Yeah.
Tower clocks being one of them, and you can't really train on those because you only work on them when they
Right.
pop up, and they always don't pop up very
Yeah.
often. So, but yeah, we stay busy.
How'd you get into this?
I just fell into it. I used to work over on the east side, and I got sick of being shot.
All right, we're gonna be doing the 2:30 St. Michael's
My
in
father
a little bit.
always had
Hopefully, we can do a
Okay,
chime demo
yeah,
from the
yeah,
movement
yeah,
and a
yeah.
Winchester,
I own
other
the car.
chime
So-
demo,
So I
manual
used to teach
chimes
at
as well.
City School,
So,
too,
bye-bye.
before.